It is a picture-perfect Sunday afternoon in Scottsdale, Arizona, and welcome to Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, where today Cactus League action between your Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies. And hi again, everybody, along with Oral Hershiser. I'm Tim Nevert. Alana Rizzo will join us shortly. And Oral, it's been offense right now on the 10th of March. The talk of camp, A.J. Pollock with an opposite field home run Friday night, and Kike Hernandez with 2 bombs yesterday.
Well, an old Dodger, Kike Hernandez, been here for a while, and a great offseason acquisition. And A.J. Pollock, he'll be roaming center field. We don't know where he's going to hit in the batting order. Could be the top of the order. Might be in the 4-hole, showing off some of that power with that opposite field home run there. He said in his post-game comments, when he's hitting the ball there, he's in a good place. And Kike Hernandez, we have seen these lightning hands before, but we might see the production more often. The swing is really getting refined, the barrel in the zone a lot longer, hitting one backup slider and one slider low and away. That's a very good sign for his offense this year.
And both A.J. Pollock and Kike Hernandez in the lineup here this afternoon. When you talk about good young pitching, you have to talk about Julio Urias, who starts today.
He's been absolutely fantastic this spring and at the end of last year. When you look at his fastball command and velocity, all of it has gone up since he's got stronger coming off the surgery. You look at this man as an impact pitcher, and this year it could be Julio Urias that makes the huge impact on this staff like Walker Buehler did last year.
Julio Urias will take on right-hander Chad Bettis as the Dodgers take on the Rockies on a great day here in Scottsdale.
It is alongside Jerry Hairston Jr. from the OC Register. It is Bill Plunkett. Still a few minutes away from first pitch between the Dodgers and Rockies. These are two teams that played a game 163 for the NL West title last year. So we're going to discuss how someone other than the Dodgers might win the National League West in 2019. Jerry, the Rockies will win the NL West if what happens?
I think a couple of things have to happen. Their bullpen needs to be lights out. Last year, especially the first half of the season, they were atrocious. I think they get that rectified. Nolan Arenado has another MVP type of season. Blackmon, one of the best center fielders, leadoff hitters in all of baseball. All those three components come into play. They got a good shot.
We know they can hit. They've got the offense. The bullpen's always been the question mark with the Rockies. Good young starting staff as well. We'll see how they do in 2019. Bill, how about for you? The Diamondbacks will win the NL West in 2019 if what happens?
If Zach Greinke's Joe Dirt hairstyle leads to a Cy Young, if Robbie Ray finishes second in the Cy Young, if Jake Lamb and Steven Souza combine on let's say 75 home runs, if Ketel Marte figures out how to play center field, and the bullpen overperformed. All of those things.
Yeah, then they got a shot.
And that's it.
There's a lot of ifs in those statements.
All right, this one for both of you. How can you guys make a case? Can anybody make a case for either the Padres or Giants, Jerry?
I think the Giants have no chance to win the division. Possibly the Padres, maybe like the Braves of last year. A lot of the young guys have epic years. I don't think they're going to do it.
Padres do it if they go shopping right now and sign every unsigned free agent. Get Gio Gonzalez,
Jones,
get Dallas Keuchel, get Adam
guys.
Sign them all and just go all in on this year. Then
so you're telling me there's a chance. It's the Dodgers and the Rockies coming to you live.
Beautiful day here in Scottsdale, Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Dodgers and Rockies. First pitch just around the corner. Some regulars back in the lineup today. And we now join Alana Rizzo to tell us about one of those regulars.
All right, Tim, thanks very much. Yeah, Russell Martin back in the game, back behind the plate for the first time since February 26th. In 3 games, Russell Martin 2 for 8 with a double and 3 RBIs, but he's dealing with some lower back stiffness and soreness. Yesterday, he was able to play on the backfields. He ran the bases, not only in the game, but also some more on the side fields. He had 4 ABs. He was able also to catch Walker Buehler's live bullpen session. Basically, what happened with his back, he's trying some different swing angles and some different approaches with his swing, and it was just too many as far as the quantity was concerned. He also did some pull running to get back in game shape, and he's back in the game today, guys.
All right, Alana, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing what Russ can do today. A.J. Pollock in that lineup as well. He will lead off. Justin Turner will bat second and play third. Max Muncy will be at first base. And Hernandez, yesterday with 2 home runs. Cody Bellinger has been swinging a good bat this spring, especially when you're talking about going to the opposite field. Jock Peterson and Martin Freese will be the DH. And Chris Taylor at shortstop, batting 9th. Chad Bettis gets the start here today for Colorado.
In a battle for probably the 5th spot in their rotation, was both in the rotation last year and pitched out of the bullpen. Started off the year very, very well, but then some blister problems on his right finger also all of a sudden put him on the DL. But during that time when he was battling the blister, the results went down. A ground ball machine, that's what he's looking for, especially when he's pitching in Colorado. And Arizona, the ball travels real well here too, so he's looking to get the ball hit on the ground again today.
He went 5-2 as a starter last year, and his ERA was up over 5. So again, he is looking to become a starter once more, and making a case this spring. And he'll get set to face A.J. Pollock. Good to see the opposite field power that A.J. displayed Friday night against Kansas City. Last season with the Diamondbacks, 21 home runs. I'd like to repeat that. 257 hitter. And 5 for 21 this spring. Underway with a ground ball to third. Arenado picks it up, takes his time, and there's 1 out. First ball swinging Pollock, grounds to third, 1 gone.
You hit it to third base, it's probably going to be an out.
Probably the place you don't want to hit it when you're playing Colorado.
What was interesting about that is Nolan Arenado on that throw made sure he got his feet underneath himself, and he had some arm troubles last year, and they were really working hard with him not relying on his arm as much, but using his body a little bit better to protect his arm.
Arenado, a multiple-time Gold Glover, multiple-time Platinum Glover now. Justin Turner batting second, hitting .467 this spring, takes ball 1, and you knew he'd take ball 1 after the 1 pitch out. And take that next pitch after a 1 pitch out. Don't do the pitcher any favors. Well, it's 1-1 now. The strike call to Turner. You always like to have that free strike to take.
Oh yeah, you know, especially you get 2 quick outs, even if it's 3-4 pitches. Those first pitches to the next hitter, right there for you.
Popped up back at third. Arenado out after it. Trevor Story, the shortstop, calling him off, and right by the foul line makes the catch, and 2 down quickly for the Dodgers in the top of the first inning.
And you say quickly, yesterday's game was one of the quickest games all time in spring training at 2 hours and 5 minutes.
And inevitably, when you say that at this stage of the game, you have people saying, well, why does he say that right now? But there's no jinx.
No.
There's no broadcaster jinx.
Joe Davis did the game yesterday, was sitting in your chair, and I'll tell you what, he almost jinxed it. The first play after we mentioned how quick the game was an error.
Max Muncy takes a breaking ball low. Muncy hitting .200 this spring, 4 for 20. Bettis deals home, and it's low 2-0. But no matter what, you get asked this question all the time, as I'm sure you do, Oral, being a broadcaster. You know, the no hitters going on and things like that. Yeah, we have to talk about that.
Well, you're here to bring the news, right, and to analyze what's going on. And
you know, that's for the guys in the dugout to deal with.
I threw 1 no-hitter in my life, and I talked about it right from the first inning when I was on the bench. I made a wrong foot play on a dribbler towards third and got the guy out at first. It was like the second hitter of the game, and it came in after. I go, I think I'm going to throw a no-hitter after making that play. It was in college, though, never in the big leagues.
I'm sure everybody in the dugout said, yeah, right. And you did it. Muncy takes a strike.
Only 7 innings, though, because it was a doubleheader, so he only plays 7-inning games.
Yeah, but it still counts.
All right.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Muncy. 2 down, nobody on, top of the first inning. Dodgers and Rockies on this Sunday afternoon. Rockies shifted 3 to the right. Here's the pitch from Bettis. And Muncy swings and strikes out. Just 10 pitches for Chad Bettis to get through the top of the Dodger lineup. Julio Urias will take the mound when we come back to Scottsdale. After a half inning, no score. Dodgers and Rockies. Rockies coming to the plate for the first time against Julio Urias, the 22-year-old left-hander out of Mexico.
He has been absolutely fantastic this spring. He was great the end of last year. The first guy since 2014, Hunter Strickland, did this to throw more innings in the postseason than he did in the regular season. It was only 10 1/3 total, but 4 in the regular season, and shown so well in those 4 innings that he got a nice opportunity in the playoffs and did very well.
Charlie Blackmon will lead off. He's in right field today. Then Nolan Arenado, Daniel Murphy, their new acquisition. Trevor Story, a very talented shortstop with a power bat. Mark Reynolds, the designated hitter. And here is Blackmon, who was scheduled to make the trip to Monterey but did not. Came down ill when the plane was leaving. But he did take batting practice yesterday and finds himself in the lineup here today against Urias. The former center fielder will play in the corner outfield spots, playing right today now that the Rockies have moved Ian Desmond to center field.
Sometimes when you go to another country or culture, you feel sick from the food or the water, you know, after you leave. But this is one that started before he got there.
That was the preventative illness.
Yeah, preventative the travel.
Yeah. Well, Chuck Nasty, as he is known in Colorado, has really embraced the Colorado lifestyle. Loves to tie his own flies. He's big into fly fishing now. He is ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike to Urias. Urias has pitched 3 innings so far. The only hit that Urias has given up has been a solo home run to the Giants' Evan Longoria. That was almost a week ago. Up the middle, there's Taylor spinning and firing toward first base, and he's got Blackmon 1 down. On the ground out to the shortstop, Taylor.
Playing him up the middle, good positioning. Hit hard enough to be a hit, but good defensive positioning by the Dodgers.
Well, Nolan Arenado will be a Rocky for a while after signing a long contract extension. I mentioned his Gold Gloves, 6 of those. And he's got 4 straight Silver Sluggers. And Arenado, when it's all said and done, as he takes the first pitch outside from the left-handed Urias, when it's all said and done, I think you'd have to think that he's going to be the best player to ever wear a Rocky uniform. And they've had some pretty good ones. But an 8-year deal, $260 million. Opt-out clause after 3 years, which will probably unlikely be used, at least looking at it at this time. And he has turned out to be one of the best third basemen in all of baseball.
The salary numbers are amazing nowadays. But if you're going to trust somebody with that much money, this is a guy you can trust that he's going to show up and try and be at his best every single day, no matter what his checkbook looks like.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike to Nolan Arenado. He's been an all-star each of the last 4 seasons. And Bud Black, who also earned himself a contract extension just at the start of spring training, and a well-earned one in his 3 years managing the Rockies. They have gone to the postseason twice.
A perfect temperament for Colorado, because you can have some hair-pulling nights and days playing in that stadium, but Bud Black has really done a nice job setting the tone for the organization.
3-1 pitches, low, ball 4. Arenado takes a walk, and the Rockies have a base runner. And you know, you played there pre-Humidor.
Yeah, it's quite a place. You're going to give up runs as a pitcher. You just can't give up. You've got to be mentally tough.
Here is Murphy, former New York Met, Washington National. Throughout his career, he has been a very good hitter, very good clutch hitter. He takes the first pitch outside. Murphy, left-handed batter against the lefty Urias. 1 out and 1 on, no score, bottom of the first. Murphy started with the Mets in 2008, with the Nationals, and then last year also with the Cubs. And he hits one to the right side, snared by Hernandez. Throw to second, 1 on to first, double play. Tremendous play by Kike Hernandez to start that inning-ending twin kill. Good work behind Julio Urias by the Dodger infield. Kike to Taylor. Back to Muncy at first. Well, the shot from the batter's eye in center field leaves little doubt that you're watching Cactus League baseball. Top of the second inning, and Kike Hernandez with an excellent play to start that double play leads things off. Along with Earl Hershiser and Alana Rizzo, Tim Neverett with you at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Very picturesque ballpark as Hernandez waves and misses, and he finds himself behind in the count 0-2 to the right-hander Chad Bettis. This is one of the nicer spots in all of spring training.
It's a beautiful facility, rivals ours in Glendale. Still a little bias.
This one shot foul down the right field side and into the seats.
Bettis is really showing some very good off-speed stuff so far here today. His changeup's always been an outstanding pitch, but the breaking ball has been very sharp.
Chad Bettis still looking to lock down that 5th spot in the rotation. Hernandez takes outside. That's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Kike. Well, he had to feel very good about his effort yesterday against Seattle. 2 home runs, barreled up a couple of baseballs, and they traveled. And he lines one into center field, a base hit.
I love it when Kike does so well because his interviews with Alana are so outstanding, just unbelievable. He's such a character and it's so much fun. And here, yesterday, showed he could hit the slider. 2 home runs off of sliders. Now the high fastball tomahawking out to center field.
And the other thing of note, too, both of those sliders yesterday when he went yard were with 2 strikes. And here, another 2-strike hit. So protecting the plate with 2 strikes and being productive. Now Bellinger. And a strike call to Bellinger. Now, when Nomar is here, Nomar is very impressed with watching Bellinger go the other way. Instead of trying to pull everything, using the whole field, using the big part of the field. And the 1 home run he hit came against these Rockies over at Camelback Ranch, and it was to the opposite field. Murphy to second one, back to first. 3-6-3 double play, and that erases Hernandez from the base paths. Nobody on and 2 out quickly. Daniel Murphy starting that 3-6-3 double play, and Jock Peterson will walk to the plate now. Peterson 2 for 20, but both of his hits have been home runs.
Dave Roberts has really said that they like the look of the way he is in the batter's box. The production's not there yet, but they think he's having some very productive at-bats as far as approach.
Strike call to Peterson. Rockies shifted 3 to the right against him. And Peterson shortened up to show bunt with the shift on. Arenado basically playing shortstop with Story on the right side of second base and a lot of room down that third base line. Do you think, Oral, that we'll see more left-handed hitters try to bunt against the shift?
You know, as we talk about the new rules in the Atlantic League that they're trying to eliminate the shift, Major League Baseball with that relationship, I think that instead of eliminating the shift, maybe we get hitters to make adjustments, and that will eliminate the shift. And another skill that you can show, another way you can differentiate yourself, raise your batting average.
So 1-2 pitch grazes the inside corner for a called 3rd strike. 2nd strikeout for Bettis in the game. No runs, a hit. That's it for the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. No score. No score. Rockies half of the 2nd inning at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Good crowd here on the sun-splashed Sunday afternoon. It's Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Get amazing deals like huge factory cashback offers and special leases on the most popular Toyota cars, trucks, or SUVs. Visit buyatoyota.com for all offers. They make it easy. Trevor Story had the longest home run in Major League Baseball last year, a 505-foot blast. He's got 1 home run so far in spring training. And the first ball swinging, pops it up. Hernandez, who is in the shift, is now affected by the wind, stays with it. A very difficult play. It didn't look that easy, but Kike made it look easier than it was.
His route changes as the ball comes down because the wind really starts to affect it. The last few outs that the Dodgers have recorded because of that man right there, Kike Hernandez.
Mark Reynolds serving as a designated hitter today. 7 strikeouts so far in the spring. That's something that anytime people look at the numbers with Mark Reynolds, they always check out the strikeout numbers because he is a guy with tremendous power, but doesn't have much of a 2-strike swing all the time, and so he'll end up on the wrong end of a strikeout often. 1-0 pitch, swing and a chopper foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mark Reynolds.
When you face Reynolds as a pitcher, you know it's in that all or nothing kind of mode, so you try not to make mistakes. Make decent pitches, you're usually going to get the swing and miss. It's the mistake he really capitalizes on.
Russell Martin setting up inside. And the pitch a little bit high. 95 miles an hour out of the left hand of Julio Urias, facing the veteran Mark Reynolds with David Dahl, the left fielder, on deck for the Rockies. 2 ball, 1 strike count to the right-handed hitting Reynolds. Pitch on the outside corner. Good first strike, says home plate umpire Brian Knight. Should point out this is a TV radio simulcast today. Most of the simulcasts are radio TV.
Yes.
If you follow me. Even though
I hear you.
There's pictures.
Oh, and I do see you.
Right. But we're doing a telecast today that's on TV. Oftentimes we'll do a radio broadcast that's on TV. Or I should say telecast that's heard on radio.
In the back of my mind when I said because of the recording the outs for the Dodgers, that man on your, and then I'm like, oh, the radio people don't see him.
2-2 pitch. Reynolds waves and misses and strikes out.
Good changeup right there.
Fooled him. He went after it. And you see how that changeup fades. He's got good fade on that off-speed pitch.
Yeah. It gets on the inside part of the baseball, and it's almost in some ways like a screwball action.
Julio Urias now will face David Dahl. 2 men out for the Rockies, bottom of the 2nd. Dahl 7 out of 25 this spring, takes a strike. Urias last year pitched more innings in the postseason than he did in the regular season. And the last pitcher to do that in 2014, Hunter Strickland of the Giants. The Giants that year would come out of the 2nd wild card spot. Swing and a miss, and that's an 0-2 count on the left-handed hitting Dahl. They would come out of the 2nd wild card spot, run the table, and win the World Series, as they were backed by the solid pitching of Madison Bumgarner, who had a career year that year. Here's a Urias pitch, just outside, couldn't get him to chase it. 1-2. What does that say about Urias when the Dodgers think of him that highly? And again, he provides tremendous depth with this rotation. If he doesn't make the rotation or even the bullpen out of spring training, you got to think he's going to be a big contributor at some point, as he gets Dahl to take a weak swing at it, and he strikes him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Rockies, and Urias strikes out 2.
No score in this one in the top of the 3rd inning. Good to see Rick Honeycutt back at camp for the last couple of weeks after recovering from back surgery, and he certainly had his eyes on both Clayton Kershaw and Walker Buehler. And Dave Roberts said he expects Kershaw and Buehler to be ready to start the season. Whether or not they will is still to be determined, but both of those guys are making progress. Walker Buehler will throw to hitters again Tuesday or Wednesday. Of course, he threw live BP yesterday for the first time, and Dave Roberts said that Clayton Kershaw will throw a bullpen session tomorrow. So they're still not closing the door on either one of those guys for opening day.
All right, thank you, Alana. And that's going to be, tough scheduling-wise at this stage when you're looking at now 18 days to opening day. Is opening day a possibility? Maybe, but opening day is just game 1 when it comes down to it for those guys in the dugout and for Dave Roberts. would it be maybe game 5? Do you get that extra few days before maybe they'll be ready?
You know, when you think about traditionally building up a pitching staff and especially your starters, in my day, you know, you tried to build up to 7 innings and maybe then you could still go 9 on opening day. Well, now a traditional buildup is more getting somebody ready to at least go 5, and then you know you're going to go to your bullpen. Of course, Clayton Kershaw is somebody that likes to go 7, 8, and 9, but you don't have to put him into that.
Russell Martin lines one hard and foul down the third base side on a 3-2 pitch.
You know, you don't have to put a square peg in a round hole right now. You just can build up to where you go, and the culture nowadays is starting pitchers, if they can go 5 or 6, you can get into the pen, and especially here early in the year.
Chad Bettis starting his 3rd inning of work. It'll be the bottom 3rd of the order for the Dodgers. Russell Martin, David Freese, and Chris Taylor. Payoff pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Iannetta for strike 3. So Martin down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Bettis.
Two-seam fastball right down the middle to Russell Martin, just swings over.
The way the schedule looks too, Oral, if you had an off day built in that first series, that first homestand, but there isn't one.
Yep.
The off day comes after the second series with the Giants, and it's too late because you're already going to be back around second time in the rotation. So you're talking about, are you going to start somebody on the injured list? Are you going to start them games 4 and 5? You know, there's a lot of questions that Dave Roberts and his staff are running through their minds right now. A lot of different scenarios.
And a lot of information that they don't have yet as far as, you know, how the batting practices go, when's the first innings, how are we going to be able to get to them a game and build them up.
1-1 pitch. And it is outside and low to David Freese.
The great thing is the needle's pointing up for both guys.
Two balls, 1 strike to Freese. Bettis winds and fires, and Freese swings and pulls it foul. Just beyond the Dodger dugout on the third base side here at Salt River Fields. So Freese the DH, and then the DH for the Rockies, Mark Reynolds. At some point soon, maybe even as soon as tomorrow, you'd think that the Dodgers would want to get a pitcher, starting pitcher in there to get some swings. Oh, a swing and a miss, and Freese is down on strikes. Chris Taylor will come up next.
I would think some reps in the cage are happening with the starting pitchers. I've seen that. I know they're getting a lot of bunting work. Maury Wills is in camp this week and has been working with the pitching staff with their bunting technique. No better guy to learn about bunting than from Maury.
Well, Chad Bettis on a bit of a roll right now. 3 straight strikeouts. He has 4 total in the game. Dodgers with 1 hit. Kike Hernandez had a leadoff single in the second. And a strike to Taylor. Taylor 5 out of 19, hitting .263, has not hit a home run yet this spring. He has driven in 3 runs. Well, 2 men out, bases empty. And the pitch missing low. Ball 1, 1-1. Taylor, a guy who can play multiple positions. Same with Hernandez. Very valuable for the Dodgers, the way that they move guys around in the lineups. You know, look at what they did in 2018, 2017 as well. But last year, Dave Roberts juggling lineups based on pitching matchups. And when you have players that can play multiple positions, it just gives you such an advantage. And it really came into play, especially when Justin Turner came back last year. That's when the Dodgers really started to take off. And this ball is lined right at the second baseman, McMahon. He makes the chest-high catch, and the Dodgers down in order. Chad Bettis has faced 9 men in the game so far. No score as we move to the bottom of the 3rd.
On MLB.tv, watch selected spring training games live on your favorite supported device. Blackout and other restrictions apply for regular season games. Visit MLB.tv for details.
All right, McMahon leads off for the Rockies, fouling the first pitch back. No score. as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Here's McMahon, who appears to be the heir apparent at second base for DJ LeMay, who's now with the Yankees. 0-1. And it's lifted in the air to left field. Right there waiting for it is Jock Peterson. He records the out, one down. That's a big hole to fill for Colorado at second base.
Sure is. McMahon was a Dodger killer last year, so they're very comfortable having him in lineup against the Dodgers. But you lose a clubhouse presence like DJ LeMahieu and an offensive presence and a defensive presence, everything that he brought to the table, they're going to have some big shoes to fill there at second base.
Rockies catcher Chris Iannetta. He has been in a Rocky uniform a long time, with some time off to play for the Angels, Mariners, and Diamondbacks, and very happy to be back in Colorado. He's the all-time leader among catchers in games played. And the next pitch to him, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Iannetta. 528 games behind the plate for Colorado. Native of the Ocean State, Rhode Island, where the weather certainly is not as nice as it is here today. 2 balls and a strike to Iannetta.
A lot of people saying it's about time we had some good weather in Arizona. I'm sure they're saying that back in LA too.
It's been a little wet there lately. The pitch, and it takes low. 3 balls and 1 strike. It's like a beach out on the grassy berms here at Salt River Fields. Folks brought their beach blankets. And great way to spend an afternoon, sitting out either in right field or left field here. And that pops this one foul and out of play. So that will fill the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. For the Rockies, really good to have the veteran presence behind the plate. There's been very little that Chris Iannetta hasn't seen. He swings and lifts this one in the air to right field. Bellinger settling under it. And there are 2 men out. See a lot of Bellinger in right field this year, it looks like.
He can really track a fly ball. One of the fastest Dodgers. He and Chris Taylor at the top of the speed chart.
Urias now will face the number 9 man in the order, the center fielder today, Romel Tapia. Tapia does not figure to be the everyday center fielder. Left-handed batter swings and misses. He got 97 right down the middle. 302 last year in Albuquerque in AAA. 11 runs batted in this year. He has been the most productive Rocky in terms of driving in runs in Cactus League play. This ball fouled off, and it's quickly 0-2 to Tapia. You know, he reminds me of, he's got the dreadlocks tied back in a ponytail. He looks like a younger Andrew McCutchen. That's the way that he stands at the plate. Obviously, the other side of the plate, McCutchen, a right-handed hitter, and he is with the Philadelphia Phillies now, the revamped Phillies. Just his stature, the way he swings, the way he runs reminds me of a younger Andrew McCutchen, who was the National League MVP in 2013. Romel Tapia, the Rockies high on this outfield prospect. And you know they're high on him because he's got a low jersey number. He wears number 15 instead of 75.
Always a clue in spring training.
There's a ground ball off of Urias, and it deflects over to Turner at third, and Turner gets it there just in time. A heartbeat ahead of Tapia at first. That'll be a 1-5-3 putout as that ball deflected off of Julio Urias right to Justin Turner. And the out recorded. Rockies go in order, scoreless, heading to the 4th.
Purchase a 20-game weekend plan and add a Cody Bellinger bobblehead celebrating his 2018 NLCS Game 4 walk-off to your collection. From rivalry matchups, including the Yankees, to Friday night fireworks, experience the fun and excitement of Dodger baseball all season long. Visit Dodgers.com/weekend.
A.J. Pollock leads things off for the Dodgers in the top of the 4th inning, facing Chad Bettis, still scoreless here. Great crowd at Salt River Fields today. And Pollock takes a strike. A.J. on the first pitch he saw today, grounded out to the third baseman, Nolan Arenado. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pollock. And the pitch. Swung on, hot shot down to short, backhanded pick by Trevor Story. Throws to first to Murphy in plenty of time, and Pollock is 0 for 2.
2 hopper that was snagged cleanly. The tough part of that was catching it. After that, plenty of time for the throw.
Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado give the Rockies one of the better left side infields in not just the National League, but in baseball, in terms of their gloves, arms, and their bats. And Justin Turner takes outside. Talking about A.J. Pollock, I told you earlier, went to see Billy Joel last night downtown here in Phoenix. The guy who played the trumpet, it was a ground ball to Arenado. He scoops it up easily and throws out Turner, 2 down. The drummer was wearing a Diamondbacks jersey throughout the concert, but then the guy who plays the trumpet, they gave him a Diamondbacks jersey, and it must have been a spare one because it was number 11 with Pollock on the back of it.
Yeah, that one they've turned the page on.
Yeah. They probably said, we don't need this one anymore. You can wear it. Max Muncy with 2 out.
Did you enjoy Billy Joel?
That was fantastic.
I absolutely love him.
It's great. It was great.
About once every 10 days or so at home, I watch the last concert from Shea. That's one of my favorites.
0-1 pitch to the left-handed hitting Muncy, down and in. Muncy struck out swinging in the first. He's 0 for 1 today. It did give me a little sneak peek at that new artificial turf they have.
Oh, yeah?
At Chase Field. Yeah, the concert was at Chase Field. And most of the field had a flooring down, but down from the pitcher's mound into home plate did not. This looked like a brand new field. Looks nice.
We'll have to see how fast it plays when we get there.
A strike call to Muncy. My guess is that it's going to play slower than the actual grass because it's always been like a golf green.
Right.
It's been so thin in Arizona and hard because they do have to open the roof and let the sun get to the grass and it bakes.
Yep.
Muncy fouled it back. In fact, you know how the dugouts, they have those benches up toward the front by the screen, and they're fiberglass. And I remember one afternoon doing a game there a number of years ago. It was middle of the summer, and I had linen pants on, a thin material.
Right.
And they had just closed the roof. And so I went to sit down, and I burned my
leg on
the fiberglass.
Oh.
Hard lesson learned.
They can make that artificial turf, the blades, as long as they want and put as much sand in it to make it tight or make it loose.
Payoff pitch, cut on and missed, and Muncy goes down swinging for the second time, and Chad Bettis is rolling. He's faced the minimum through 4. Still scoreless. Dodgers and Rockies.
This is outstanding outing with our Carl's Cam. Julio again with a strong outing in spring training, inducing ground balls, got a couple of Ks. 34 pitches, 22 strikes. The young man continues to look ready for the regular season, and I think we're going to be chomping at the bit to see how he does throughout this year. The future looks very bright for that young man.
Well, he heads off after a good day's work. 3 innings, zeros in the hits and runs columns. 2 strikeouts and a walk, and Tony Cingrani is the new pitcher facing the top of the order, and Charlie Blackmon. This pitching change brought to you by In-N-Out. There's no room for compromise when you're serving a quality meal. At In-N-Out, from the juicy 100% beef patties to their hand-cut fries and genuine ice cream shakes. You'll see what they stand for. Quality you can taste. Strike called to Blackman. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is 0 for 1. And Cingrani in 30 appearances last year, 1-2. ERA 4.76. Former Cincinnati Red gets a swing and a miss from the left-handed hitting Blackman.
You know, in your life, there's food that you can remember what it tastes like even when it's not in front of you. That's what In-N-Out is for me. You sit there and read that promo, and I'm like tasting the burger and the shake.
You know, I had to go through the drive-in yesterday on Camelback here to get a shake.
Yeah.
I hadn't had one in a while. Blackman to right field and a base hit for the Rockies. That's their first hit. Blackman a leadoff single. Nolan Arenado. Second time around for him. He walked first time up. Now think about this. Since 2016, last 3 seasons, the top 5 National League hitters in slugging percentage, led by Arenado. Number 2 on that list is on first base, Charlie Blackman. Freddie Freeman of the Braves, 3rd. Daniel Murphy, now of the Rockies, 4th. And Trevor Story, who has been with the Rockies, 5th. 4 of the 5 top guys in terms of slugging are the first 4 hitters in the Rockies order. Go to first and back.
They're not going to have any trouble scoring runs.
No, they're going to slug.
They're going to have to get some people out to have a really good year.
Tony Cingrani getting to work now, backing up Arias here in the 4th inning. Left-hander's pitch in for a strike called to Arenado.
Arenado looks thinner this year.
Well, kind of like the Dodgers, he cut out dairy at least for part of the day. I think he said before 8 p.m. Maybe at 8:01 he could have a bowl of ice cream. I don't know. He pops this one up right field, and under it Bellinger. And that one out. So 1 gone. Blackman at first base and Daniel Murphy the batter. He hit into an inning-ending double play started by Kike Hernandez in the first. Again, you look at that period of time, the last 3 years, last 3 seasons. Daniel Murphy, his numbers prove why he's such an important pickup for the Rockies. He has had a .326 batting average in that time, which has been second in Major League Baseball only to Jose Altuve of the Astros. Over the last 3 years has hit a combined .334. And there's a shot right at Muncy. Goes to second. 1. Taylor the return. Double play. 3-6-3. Second time Murphy has been doubled up. No runs, a hit. That is it. On to the 5th. Dodgers nothing. Rockies nothing.
No score, top of the 5th. Kike Hernandez set to lead off for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And as we are only 18 days away from the regular season beginning, the Dodgers continuing to thin the room, making a roster move just moments ago, optioning right-handed pitchers Yadier Alvarez and Josh Sborz, as well as left-hander Donnie Hart, and reassigning right-handed pitcher Mitchell White and infielders Omar Estevez and Gavin Lux to minor league camp. Guys, they now have 50 players in camp, including 21 infielders and outfielders, 23 pitchers, and 6 catchers.
That's that time. Second round of cuts. Well, not really cuts, they're just reassignments, but thank you very much, Alana.
These early ones are always expected by the players and the pitchers. These are not any surprises as you get closer to the end and get closer to the Freeway Series, the last 3 games before the Dodgers start the opening day roster and name it.
New pitcher for the Rockies is Mike Dunn, and Kike Hernandez fouls it back and out of play. And usually the way it works too with the reassignments is to give you a look at Mike Dunn's numbers. 25 games last year, no decisions, and an ERA of 9. But usually more catchers hang around until the very end. And even though they know what their fate's going to be anyway. They appreciate the time in big league camp late. And it's necessary to have more catchers around in spring training.
Sometimes these guys actually get to go to the Freeway Series that have already been assigned to the minor league side as backups for that when the team travels back to LA. And then there's some disappointing and tough conversations at the very end of camp when the big league roster is finalized.
Dunn's pitch to Hernandez popped up and foul. That'll be just over the Rocky dugout or on top of it. Kike, over the last 2 games, he is 3 for his last 4. And sometimes you see stretches like this when you see a guy red hot. He'd like to have other guys red hot with him, but sometimes teams go through stretches like this. The rest of the team so far, in comparison to Kike, they have 1 fewer hit. 2 for the last 36 overall. And Dunn stretching the 2-2. That's high, 3-2. Dunn out of Las Vegas. He was born in Farmington, New Mexico. But he went to the same junior college that Bryce Harper went to, Community College of Southern Nevada. Dunn's payoff. A broken bat bouncer to third, backing up on it. Arenado has to avoid the head of the bat as it was headed his way. He still manages to throw out Hernandez.
That fastball got inside on Kike. Dunn, who was out a lot of last year with left shoulder issues. One of the active all-time leaders as far as appearances for left-handers in the top 10. He has been a workhorse, but that shoulder took some of the pressure last year.
527 career appearances. In 7 consecutive seasons from 2011 to 2017, he made at least 50 relief appearances. That's saying a lot for any reliever as Bellinger fouls his first pitch off. You can be that consistent, make at least 50 appearances. You're a contributor.
He contributed a lot in Florida, Marlins, and then he's also signed here at the Rockies back in 2016.
Had a brief stint in Atlanta in 2010. Also came up originally with the Yankees in 2009. Veteran left-hander. Seems like every team's got one somewhere, either in the bullpen or stashed away. And guys who throw from that side tend to hang around a little longer. 1-1. Off-speed pitch, and Bellinger tried to hammer it and missed.
The reason they get to stay around a lot longer is if they can continue to grow in age and experience, but just get one left-handed hitter out, well, you got a chance to pitch into your 40s.
Not a bad way to make a living for a while, huh?
We had John Candelaria one year. I think the whole year he only had like 15 innings. I don't know what it was. I know his contract, he made $1 million. And I said, John, you're getting paid more than anybody on a per pitch basis.
Sure, he had no complaint.
No.
But he was always ready, though, wasn't he?
He was always ready, and he could get a lefty out at will. Usually just got a third of an inning. He was done.
1 out, nobody on, still no score. And a 1-2 pitch from Dunn to Cody Bellinger. Hit deep to left, going back on it is Dahl at the track, reaching up and making the catch just to the right of the Dodger bullpen. A good stroke, took the ball the other way, and ballpark held it though as David Dahl caught up with it. But again, that's something that last week Nomar was talking about, watching Bellinger use that part of the field.
He didn't backspin that one, but it had a little side spin, but a little bit different angle with the bat hitting the ball. That ball's out of here.
Another left-handed batter, Jock Peterson, facing the lefty Mike Dunn. Rockies in a traditional alignment in the infield. Big cut and a miss by Peterson. Peterson hit one the other day that might still be going. I think he hit it to the White Sox side of the complex. over at Camelback Ranch. 0-1. Big cut on a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 0-2 to Jock Peterson, who struck out looking in the second inning. 0 for 1 today.
Milana asked Jock, how does that feel to hit a ball that far? And it doesn't matter if it's regular season or spring training. He goes, you really don't feel it. Everything's so perfect. You don't feel it at all. For those of us in the world that'll never hit a ball that far, we don't feel it either.
No. Sweeping breaking ball, and it was chased by Peterson. He goes down on strikes, and the Dodgers have not sent up more than 3 men to the plate in any half inning so far. Halfway home here at Salt River Fields. Rockies nothing, Dodgers nothing. It's been a pretty tidy game so far. No runs, just 1 hit apiece. With Oral Hershiser, I'm Tim Neverett. Welcome into the broadcast booth here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. And so far, not a ton to talk about out there in terms of offensive production either way.
Then we can talk about what's going on here in the booth. This is our first time together. Welcome aboard, new partner. This is fantastic to have you. It's been very smooth and a lot of fun, and I hope the people on radio and TV are enjoying your call.
Well, thank you very much, Ora. It's been a pleasure, and I've been looking forward to this game with you today for a very long time, at least since 10 o'clock this morning. So Joe was originally scheduled to work today.
We send our wishes out to Libby. His wife's not feeling real good, a little under the weather, so he had to take on some daddy duties today with 2 youngsters at home. And very nice of you to fill in on short notice.
Well, JT Chargois will face Trevor Story. Yeah, I thought I had less time than I did. I was going off of the clock on my phone today. Of course, Arizona doesn't change time, and I had it on Mountain Time, but for some reason it was on Colorado time. Because that was the last Mountain Time destination I was in before here in Arizona.
So you not only had a panic with we need you to help broadcast the game today, but you didn't even know what time it was.
So we're breaking a few laws heading down the 101 loop to get to Scottsdale. And I get here and I realize it's an hour earlier than I thought it was.
So you could decompress.
Yeah. Well, the pitching change brought to you by In-N-Out. There's no room for compromise when you're serving a quality meal at In-N-Out. From the juicy 100% beef patties to their hand-cut fries and genuine ice cream shakes, you'll see what they stand for. Quality you can taste. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Trevor Story. JT Chargois has pitched 4 innings so far over 4 appearances this spring. Back on the 28th. Against Colorado, he gave up 2 earned runs and 2 hits. But since then, he has twirled a few clean frames and a ground ball to short. Nicely picked up by Taylor. His throw a little low. Muncy couldn't scoop it out. Popped out of his glove, and Trevor Story will be safe.
Nice play by Chris Taylor. The throw was good enough to get caught, but Muncy on the short hop, which he really usually grabs and snags. This one pops out of the glove, and we've seen some ejector mitts throughout the Dodger camp. A lot of guys breaking in new gloves. Not quite there, but that ball should have been captured at first base.
Well, Muncy unable to bail out Taylor on the low throw. The error allowing Story to reach, and the batter's Mark Reynolds, who takes a strike. Error charged to Taylor on the throw. And Reynolds a swinging strikeout in the second inning, 0 for 1. 8 times he has struck out in the spring. JT Chargois, former Minnesota Twin. There's a check swing and a foul right off of Russell Martin. I haven't talked about Russell much today. Back behind the plate, crouching down. As Alana had reported earlier, feeling much better. Had a little back stiffness after overdoing it in the batting cage last week. But Martin, the veteran, coming back to the Dodgers, and I chatted with him last week about it. He is excited to be here. This is home for him. Right-hander Chargois getting ready to deal 0-2. And swinging a little tapper toward short. Taylor gloves it with one hand. Goes to second one, and the throw pulled Hernandez off the bag. And safe at second is Story. It was a tough angle for Taylor as he had to charge and make the play near the lip of the infield grass, then throw back across his body to second.
Kike Hernandez's footwork around the bag, trying to stretch to beat the game. He kind of got his feet crossed up coming across second base, and that made Taylor's throw look a little bit more errant than it was.
David Dahl, the left fielder, strikeout victim back in the second inning. So the Rockies now with a threat as they have set up shop first and second, nobody out. Chargois peeks back at second base, now comes home. And a ground ball to second. Kike with it, shovels to Taylor, one on to first, double play. Advancing to third is Story, but that changes this chapter in the bottom of the fifth. Now 2 out and a man on.
3 ground balls that stay in the infield, now 2 outs. Usually doesn't happen that way, but no. That was a very nice double play to make up for the others that were botched.
So Ryan McMahon will stand in now, left-handed hitting second baseman, with the runner at third, Trevor Story. He is the first base runner in this game for either team to get into scoring position. And the ball shot foul right past Story and into the far end of the Dodger dugout.
Watch out, Alana.
Yeah, I was going to say Alana might want to get a helmet.
I'm glad she was sitting down in her chair, kind of studying something, getting ready for her next hit. If she'd have been standing up where her hit is right there, that's where that ball landed.
She's going to make a new friend, give that young kid a young fan of baseball. Pitch to McMahon is inside. Alana doesn't need a helmet down there. She knows where the ball is all the time.
She's got cat-like reflexes. She's fine.
Well, McMahon leads all hitters in spring training. 13 out of 30, 433. He's got 13 hits. And a ground ball to second. Kike Hernandez a few feet out of the outfield grass. Grabs it, throws on to first, and keeps the game scoreless. So the double play helps out as Chargois pitches a scoreless inning. We go to the 6th, 0-0.
After the game on an all-new Connected With, Cody Bellinger, Kike Hernandez, and Alex Verdugo share what they've been up to this offseason and talk about their expectations going into this year. Plus, get to know A.J. Pollock. Don't miss Connected With the outfield after the game on Sportsnet LA with professional broadcasters.
Hey, it's spring training for promo reading, too.
Exactly.
Sunwon Oh, the former St. Louis Cardinal, now comes on for the Rockies. He was with Toronto briefly last July. And Rockies got him from the Blue Jays in exchange for infielder Chad Spanberger. And the right-hander swings. Martin, seeing eye base hit. Well, Russell Martin didn't take long to get up there, swung away, and that's the second hit for the Dodgers.
Hey, diddle diddle, it's up the middle.
I don't like that.
Russell Martin been working on his offense this year. And as you can't see on radio, that was a hard ground ball up the middle for a base hit.
Well, Martin at first with David Freese at the plate, but you know, Russell Martin had a tough year last year offensively with the Blue Jays, knows that he needs to improve that this year. Feels like he's made the necessary adjustments to do that and be more productive offensively. Defensively, he's still considered one of the better catchers out there. There's David Freese out of the St. Louis area. Hometown hero with the Cardinals in 2011 in the World Series. Game-winning home run in Game 6 of that World Series. And with his efforts with his hometown team in 2011, Oral, that might be statue-worthy as far as the Cardinals are concerned.
But yeah, it's quite a resume and is playing for some historic organizations and creating his own history.
Again, he provides a lot of depth. A swing and a miss right there. That's 1 and 2, but he provides a lot of depth on the infield. Can play both corner infield spots. And also, when you look at the lineup today in interleague play on the road, he would be a good candidate to serve as a DH depending on the pitcher. 1-2. And that's inside and a little bit high in on the hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Russell Martin, the runner at first. No score. Dodgers and Rockies were in the 6th inning.
The makeup of the individuals that have gone into the Dodger clubhouse in the last year and this offseason with Pollock and Freese and Russell Martin coming back. It's really been good.
There's a line shot into center field and a base hit by Freese. Back-to-back singles off of Seung-Won Ho to start the 6th inning.
Trying to come back inside. The ball leaks over the middle of the plate, and David Freese does not miss it. That ball was about waist high, right where you like it.
And now the Dodgers have set up shop. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Number 9 hitter Chris Taylor lined out sharply to McMahon, the second baseman, his first time up in the 3rd.
Here we are in the top of the 6th, no score, but you would think with these 2 lineups and here in Arizona that there would have been a lot of scoring, but both offenses have been silent.
Oh, checks the runner at second, comes home, and a big cut by Taylor and a miss. And when O was with the Cardinals, he was their closer. In fact, he had 19 saves his first year in 2016, 20 in 2017. When he went to Toronto, was not the closer. Used out of the pen in a number of roles. Foul ball back to the screen. I know that Oro likes at least one of the 2 nicknames that O will answer to.
Stone Buddha.
Stone Buddha is one of them. And the final boss is the other. So if you ever see him on the street, you say, hey, final boss, he'll answer just as he will to Stone Buddha.
Some guys don't even get a good first nickname. He's got 2 really good ones.
Stretching the right-hander, steps off the back of the rubber.
How many guys growing up don't want to become the final boss?
That's what you're out there for. And it's not the Bulldog or anything, but final boss is pretty good.
Final boss is good.
0-2. Oh, swing and a miss, and Taylor down on strikes. 1 out for the Dodgers in the 6th.
He got the final boss because of his accomplishments, and that's a very positive nickname. I got Bulldog because I look like a Chihuahua.
Well, there's a rumor that wasn't really the reason.
Tommy Lasorda wanted to remind himself that I was tough, and he wanted to remind me that I was tough. Looking more like a librarian in those days to Tommy.
A.J. Pollock swings and misses. It's great to see Tommy around just about every day, isn't it?
Yeah, he's down there in the front row. He's got his Dodger blue shirt on with a nice, beautiful cream sweater.
See him a lot in uniform in the dugout. About midway through the game, the golf cart will come pick him up. And
he's close enough today to give a pep talk to anybody who comes into the on-deck circle.
pitch outside to Pollock in the count 1-1. A.J. 0 for 2 today. He's got 2 on and 1 out, no score in the 6th. Facing Seung-Won Oh. He was a star in the KBO in Korea for the Samsung club and then pitched 2 years in Japan for the Hanshin Tigers. 2 balls and a strike. Russell Martin getting his lead off of second base. McMahon, the second baseman, playing close to the bag. And Freese off of first, and the pitch down low. Goes to 3-1 to Pollard. So with a 3-1 count, he can be a lot more patient. Oh, looks in at Ionetta for a sign. He's got the one he wants. He's set. And the pitch swung on and missed. It started down and away from A.J. Pollock.
Slider just off the edge of the plate. Well located pitch. Got the swing and miss.
First and second, 1 out. Payoff pitch coming to A.J. Pollock from O. A.J. takes strike 3 at the knees. A tough one to take there with 2 strikes. Pretty good looking pitch by O. Came right across the top of the kneecaps. And with 2 outs, O will face Justin Turner. Sung-Hwan Oh set a Japanese record with 39 saves in 2014, and then the next year in 2015 he broke his own record, saving 41 games. And his work there in Japan really opened the eyes of the St. Louis Cardinals people who brought him in. Now his 3rd major league club after going to Toronto, now the Rockies. Justin Turner takes high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Turner. Turner's 0 for 2. 2 on, 2 out, no score. Dodger half of the 6th inning. And the 1-1 pitch hit on the ground. That's fair and center third. That's going to bounce off the wall in foul territory. Martin will score. Freese pulls up at 3rd and into 2nd with a 2-out run scoring double. Justin Turner. It is 1-0 Dodgers. Turner comes up with his 4th 2-base hit of spring training.
His injury last spring really set the Dodger offense on their heels, and they are looking forward to a healthy Justin Turner right from the start of the season, and showing that production right there.
When you look at what happened to him without Justin Turner, they were 16 and 26 first 42 games of the year, but then he came back and things really turned around. The last 121 games, they were averaging over 5 runs a game and a little fewer than 2 home runs a game, 1.62 home runs a game. Both of those numbers first in the National League. Once he came back, the offense stepped it up. Prior to that, just a little over 4 runs a game, which was 8th in the National League. And the strike called as Max Muncy with an opportunity here. Muncy is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Second and third, 2 down. Tying away.
Oh, up 1-0. Starting to get late here. Muncy has a chance to really break this game open. The runners will be off at contact, so no trouble scoring from second base.
Muncy's averaged 190 in spring, but his on base percentage has been good, over 375. Fouls one back. It smashes something off to our left. Just there's a plate basically above the press box, and there it is loaded with dents.
Metal facing up here, which is very decorative and nice, but as far as absorbing the shock of a baseball,
not so good.
No, not as good.
2 ball, 2 strike pitch from O to Muncy. And Muncy hits one deep to center field. Going back on it is Tapia. This one's off the wall. 2 runs will come in. Freese scores. Turner scores. Max Muncy makes it 3-0 Dodgers. Second double of Cactus League play for Max Muncy, as this one went to dead central off the wall over the head of Romel Tapia.
Well, Max Muncy puts a very sweet swing on this ball, a changeup low and away, and he stays on it and drives it, which could appear as a home run, but the batter's eye here is still in play, so it deflected off the wall above the fence. That 410 mark out there.
Kike Hernandez is 1 for 2. Muncy in scoring position. See if Kike can pick up a 2-out RBI. Back-to-back doubles, Turner and Muncy producing runs. 3-0 Dodgers, top of the 6th. O's pitch, cut on and missed. It's 1-1 to Kike. You're right, though, about Kike. You like it when he does well. I've been watching some of his interviews with Alana. And even when he's not being interviewed, he tries to sneak up behind her.
Yeah.
He just has a lot of fun with it.
He's been very popular with the Dodger fans and fans all across baseball because of his personality. And I think he's going to get more popular because of his abilities on the field and his production. He is really looking like he is going to have a big year.
1-2 is the count to Hernandez. O's pitch hit on the ground, right back to him. O snares it, heads over to first. The underhand toss to Murphy, and Hernandez is out. The first 5 innings, the Dodgers went 1 for 15. In the 6th, they go 4 for 7 and plate 3 runs. Muncy and Turner with doubles. 3-0 Dodgers through 5.5.
Dodger Stadium. Take advantage of great savings with a 20-game family plan that includes access to the postseason and the ability to add on opening day. Visit Dodgers.com/family.
Joe Kelly is on the pitch. Good to see Joe feeling better. As he faces Iannetta, gets a first ball ground ball to Santana, who's now at third base for the Dodgers, and a 1-pitch out. Iannetta's 0 for 2. Well, you've heard of some strange injuries per se in baseball. I don't know if we've ever heard one about a guy cooking Cajun food that would cause him to miss time, but Joe spent, as he says, 5 hours on his feet cooking Cajun food last week for the rest of the team. And his back stiffened up on him. So he missed a little bit of time, but threw a bullpen Friday, felt great. And here he is back in action.
It's a little early in spring to be cooking jambalaya. Not quite ready yet. Etouffee, maybe.
Well, Tapia takes a strike. Cajun food's good, though.
It's really good. What spice level are you?
I would say a 3. I don't like to go. I don't like to go to a 5.
I'm about a 3.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1. Tapia hits this one in the air, left center. Back after it, Peterson. Alex Verdugo is in center field now, and he backs him up. We'll get the changes as we roll here, but 2 outs for Joe Kelly. Your thoughts on the acquisition of Joe Kelly and how he figures to help out?
Well, I love the power arm coming out of the bullpen. He's going to be the first guy coming out of our bullpen that will throw harder than Walker Buehler. But I love the way he has turned his career around, become a strike thrower with that overpowering stuff. And once he harnessed that great arm of his and started to get it in the strike zone and understand his own mechanics and how to repeat it, made quite an impact in Boston. And I think he's going to make the same impact in Los Angeles.
Southern California guy, grew up in Corona. Delivers to Charlie Blackmon outside ball 1. Went to UC Riverside. And lives right there in Rancho. Joe will be commuting. On the pitch. A swing by Blackmon. And a miss. 1-1. Joe Kelly is a funny dude. He brought in a makeup artist to spring training last year with Boston and came up with this character named Jim Buchanan from a local television station in Punta Gorda, Florida. As Blackmon pops this one up left side, shallow left, fighting the son Peterson, calls off Santana, takes the catch and shakes out the spots in his eyes after looking up into the sun. Oh, good clean inning for Joe Kelly. And we head to the 7th. Dodgers 3, Rockies nothing. Well, that time of the ball game where you see the regulars with the bags and bats as they head off, their work done for the day, at least this portion of their work done for the day. 3-0 Dodgers. 5 hits to 1 at this point in time. Brian Shaw, the right-hander, takes over for the Rockies as we head to the 7th inning.
Had a rocky spring training so far, looking to get on the beam and start to get some results. Those 3 2/3 innings here in spring with 4 earned runs. Of course, you don't worry about results down here. You're just trying to get in shape, but it feels good when you get people out, and you'd like to go into the season feeling you are ready.
Cody Bellinger getting another at bat. See, that's the advantage for the guys that hit at the top of the order. They get that third at bat in quicker than guys who hit in the middle and down toward the bottom. But the middle of the order starting things off here. Bellinger hitting in the 5th spot this afternoon. Rockies 3 across on the right of the infield. The first pitch from Shaw is low. See the defensive alignment and a defensive change too for Colorado. Michael Saunders, the veteran outfielder, is in left field. Dahl moves from left to right. There's Bellinger. Hits this one to Tapia in center field. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. Charlie Blackmon is out as Dahl moves over to right. Jock Peterson is 0 for 2 with a couple of punch-outs today. Joe Kelly, your thoughts? A 6-pitch inning for him.
Well, you want to ease him back into the workload, and that's a really good way to do it by having a short inning, get exposed to the game speed again, not stress the back. He's had some good side works before having the outing today.
0-1 to Jock Peterson.
Bullpen pieces in today's baseball culture are so important.
Pitch low, and they count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Going to the bullpen sooner, so you need more and more quality pieces down there to have a successful season.
This one is drilled to right center field and deep. This one will be off the track and off the wall, and Peterson rumbling around first. He's on his way to second. He'll beat the throw there, and he's in with a double. His first 2-base hit of the spring, and his first hit that's not a home run.
It was hit as hard as his mammoth home run the other day, but this one just more on a line. Crushed this ball to the right center gap and eased into second base.
Well, home runs are great, and everybody take a home run, but I think when you talk to teams around both leagues, they would settle for guys who are going to rack up doubles. Because doubles can be very productive, not only setting the table, but getting guys in. Here's Verdugo, his first plate appearance today. He takes inside. So Alex Verdugo, a chance to make this club, make his first opening day roster. We'll see how things go here in the final 18 days of spring training, including the Freeway Series. Strike called on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Brian Shaw.
Back-to-back hitters that could share left field for the Dodgers this year. Definitely not a platoon because they're both left-handed hitters, but both are going to get some reps out there for sure. Jock Peterson will probably be the one that starts out there first.
Strike call on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. I don't know what else Verdugo can do in AAA.
There's not much left for him to prove, and he's really knocked the door down as far as his approach to the game, the abilities he brings.
He hit the very high 300s for Oklahoma City last year in the Pacific Coast League. That's not that easy to do. There's a ground ball to second. McMahon over to Murphy at first. Verdugo is out, but the out has a purpose as Peterson advances to third. Matt Beatty will hit in the DH spot for David Freese. Freese finishes the day with 2 at-bats, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And last year at Oklahoma City, 277. Beatty 7 out of 23 this spring. Facing Brian Shaw of the Rockies with 2 down and a runner at third. Dodgers up 3-0. Shaw last year allowed career highs in runs with 43. Earned runs 36 and home runs with 9. Shaw's pitch. There's a bouncer to the right side by Beatty, backing up Murphy. Underhand toss to Shaw covering, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, one man left. Stretch time, middle of the 7th. At Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale. Dodgers 3, Rockies nothing.
First Dodgers bobblehead to your collection by purchasing a 20-game marquee plan. You'll have access to postseason and the ability to add on opening day with great savings off the individual game price that includes apparel giveaways, rivalry matchups, and more. Visit Dodgers.com/marquee.
Well, fans having a great time on the outfield berms here that stretch from the foul poles out to the batter's eye on both sides, in left field and right field. It's kind of like baseball beach here. All the beach towels, and I'm sure the scent of sunscreen just wafting over the entire area of the outfield. At this beautiful ballpark in Scottsdale with Earl Hershiser and Alana Rizzo. I'm Tim Neverett. Glad you're tuned in to Dodger baseball, whether you're watching on television or listening on radio today. 3-0 for the Dodgers, bottom of the 7th inning. Dylan Floro takes over for Joe Kelly. Floro last year between the Reds and Dodgers appeared in 54 games, went 6-3.
He had a very nice year in a Dodger uniform. These Dodger pitchers are getting ready for the regular season. The last 2 games, 15 innings pitched, no runs, just 5 hits, 9 Ks, a few walks. They are starting to throw the ball very, very well.
Floro out there, new pitcher. A couple of new outfielders for the Dodgers as Nolan Arenado comes up for the 3rd time. Ezekiel Carrera takes over for Jock Peterson in left field, and Paulo Orlando for Cody Bellinger in right. So it's Carrera, Verdugo, and Orlando left to right in the Dodger outfield as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. Arenado is 0 for 1. He walked in the 1st, fly to right in the 4th. Murphy will be on deck, and then Trevor Story. First pitch to Arenado. Outside ball 1 from Floro. Dylan Floro last pitched on the 7th over in Tempe against the Angels. Had a good inning of relief there. Just had 1 walk. That was his only blemish. There's a healthy cut by Arenado and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And some of the Rockies fans already chanting MVP when Arenado is at the plate. A little early for that maybe, but you can understand their sentiment. 2 balls and a strike to Arenado.
It's not a stretch to think that he's going to be in the race for it.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be in that voting, and he's been in the top 5 in MVP voting. Well deserved. One of the better players in the game right now as he swings, fouls it back. He's got a brother in the Giants organization. But this guy can play, and for the Rockies, you got to tip your hat to him, give him credit, because if he hit the free agent market next year, no telling where he would have ended up or how maybe he would have come back to hurt the Rockies with another club. Pitches up and into him. Full count to Arenado, 3-2.
I know if he would have been a free agent, the Dodgers would have been very interested in him.
And why not? One of the better players out there.
MLB came out with their top 100 player ranking. Mike Trout was #1, but Arenado was there in the top 5, if I remember.
You got to like the way that he approaches the game too. He doesn't give at bats away. Everything is important to him, and most of all, he wants to win and hates to lose. He's got that competitive fire in him that you need to be as successful as he's been. 3-2 pitch. Popped up right side, drifting foul. It's staying in fair ground for now. Paulo Orlando, a long run. He'll drop it. Oh, he had it in the glove and foul ground. Both Deacon LaPut, the second baseman, and Jake Peter, the first baseman, were converging. And Paulo Orlando could not finish the play.
Lots of excuses you can use for dropping this one, but as many times as you go over there to catch that pop up with other people around, the warning track, feeling it under your feet, the tarp roll is over there, the fans are yelling, you still think you should be able to catch it.
And the guy at the plate is not a guy you want to give extra chances to.
No.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And he rips it hard and fouled into the far end of the Dodger dugout. Oh, watch out, Alana. She's had some close calls there today.
That was a dangerous, blistering line drive into the end of the dugout. Looks like everybody is okay. Lana might need to interview herself after the game on a couple of these shots over there.
3-2 pitch once again to Nolan Arenado from Floro. And it's a high chopper down to third. Santana there right near the bag. Throws across low. Good pick at first base by Peter. And he got him. Now Christian Santana with a solid throw. A little bit low, but Peter digging it out at the other end.
Low throw and a nice dig by Peter. You know, gold gloves for infielders other than the first baseman are helped out by good first basemen that can keep those errors from you.
Daniel Murphy takes low ball 1. Murphy 0 for 2. He's hit into 2 double plays. He cannot do it here. There's nobody on. Dodgers leading 3-0. Rockies half of the 7th inning. Swinging strike. As Floro gets one past the left-handed hitting Murphy. Trevor Story on deck for the Rockies, and Murphy trying to get Colorado a base runner. And the strike is called. So now it's 1-2. Rockies will play the Dodgers first on April 5th. At Coors Field. That'll be opening day for Colorado. 1-2 delivery. And swing. Caught just a piece of it. He stays alive. 1-2. The Rockies and Dodgers will see plenty of each other. I think both teams would prefer not to have to play that extra game this year. No 163. Popped up, foul ground. It'll be playable for Keibert Ruiz. And the Dodger catcher, one of the top catching prospects in all of baseball, makes the catch. And there are 2 men down in the Rockies' 7th.
Nice quick feed and recognition about where that ball was. It wasn't hit that high, but he got over there underneath it in time.
You know, from the pitcher's standpoint, what would you have liked when you see a young prospect like Ruiz? You know, what do you like about his game and the way that he calls the game and his game as a receiver?
He's got very good rhythm behind the plate as far as giving the sign and then setting the target. And when the body language, I talked about this a lot with Rocky Gale yesterday, when the body language is conducive to you wanting to throw the ball to them, they almost usher in the strikes. You feel really good about their intensity and the way they go about their business back there. But a lot of it is rhythm and just the language of their body making you kind of guiding you right into where you want to hit the target.
And for such a young catcher, at least observing him so far through this spring training, or it looks like he's not a windshield wiper back there. You know, he's got pretty good hands, good soft hands, the way he receives the ball.
The catchers that receive the ball the best actually beat the ball to the spot, so they get the glove where the ball is going to be, not reacting to it at the very last minute. And that way then they can kind of guide the glove back towards the strike zone if necessary to make it present as a strike.
Foul ball back to the screen, and Trevor Story behind in the count 1-2 to Dylan Floro.
There's a guy with a lot of movement on the mound in Floro and a lot of sinking movement at times. You want the catcher's glove to start below the strike zone, so as you throw it to the bottom of the strike zone or even to below the strike zone, the glove is coming up. You don't want the glove darting down.
1-2 pitch, fouled off to the right and out of play.
On TV, you could see the target right there for a breaking ball was actually down by the dirt, so that if it ended up being a low strike or a low below the knees, the glove is coming up to catch that ball. And that's the glove movement you want as a pitcher.
sign down and high target set. And that's where it went, right where Ruiz had set the target, just out of the strike zone, trying to get the chase on the high pitch. Last couple of years, we really start to see that high fastball, that riding high fastball from pitchers, more so than I think in previous years. A lot of power pitchers out there can get away with it. This one is skied down the right field side, and that will just go over the Rocky bullpen and into the seats.
We've really learned about that high fastball that it's not about velocity completely now. It's about that spin rate, that if you can throw a four-seam fastball that has tremendous spin where gravity doesn't affect the ball as much, so the ball has a little hop and the batter's eye doesn't pick that up. It expects the ball to decline more, but with a lot of spin stays level or maintains its altitude a little bit longer, and so they swing over it even or under it, even though it maybe is only going 90 miles an hour. Maybe it's only going 88 like a Rich Hill fastball up there, but it still becomes an optical illusion to the hitter.
Rising fastball. Well, the last pitch went to the backstop, and it's a 3-2 count. Floro winds in the payoff. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Got Story. Well, 1-2-3. Bottom of the seventh inning. Dylan Floro. Good work out of the Dodger pen. And we head to the eighth. Dodgers 3, Rockies nothing. Cactus League action continues right here. 3-0. Dodgers with the lead. 3 runs on 6 hits and an error. Colorado 0-1 and 0. And Sam Howard will take over on the hill for the Rockies as we go to the top of the 8th inning. And Chris Taylor will get his third at bat. And his regular teammates who hit at the top part of the order are probably halfway to Glendale by now. He's still in the game, and he swings and misses at strike one.
A lot of times where you hit in the order is dictated in spring training by how long you're going to play defense. Chris Taylor in for a full day today. The guys were getting a half a day or 5 or 6 innings. We're a little farther up in the order.
No balls and 2 strikes. Dave Roberts continues to guide this Dodger club. He is one of the more positive guys you're going to come across in this game, really. And Taylor swings, strikes out on 3 pitches, so he strikes out for the second time. Taylor 0 for 3, 1 down in the 8th.
Dave Roberts realizes that this is a game of failure, especially on the offensive side, so always has a lot of encouraging words for his team and is always standing by the side of a pitcher who's had a rough day also.
Howard's pitch to Jake Peter, left-handed swinger, hits a ground ball to short. Mooney is there for the Rockies as they have made wholesale changes. There's 2 men out now. There's Keibert Ruiz will be the hitter. Interesting to see what he does offensively now. In Double-A last year, 268 hitter, 12 home runs. You can get those numbers up. If you're a catcher, you're going to hit 12 home runs and get to the big league level. You're going to be expected to probably hit more than that, unless your defense is just so good, which his appears to be.
Both of our top catching prospects, Will Smith and Ruiz, are very, very good behind the plate, and I think both of them will become better offensive players as they mature.
Keibert hits this one off the end of the bat, off the fist, really. And that'll drop in for a base hit to left center field.
They feel the same off the end of the bat or on the fist, but it always feels better when they fall in for a hit. And this one right here, I don't know which way he got it, off the end or not. My eyes aren't good enough right there on the monitor to see where the bat hit it.
Either way, it sounded like he hit it with a wet newspaper.
Exactly.
He'll take the hit. Christian Santana, the batter, at third base, facing Howard, the lefty. And he looks at one low and away. 3-0 Dodgers. They're batting here in the top of the 8th inning. Julio Urias, another solid outing. Did not give up a hit over 3 innings. He struck out 2. Tony Cingrani did give up a hit, but no runs. He had a solid inning of relief. A swing and a foul at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Christian Santana. Joe Kelly, you hardly even knew he was in the game. 6 pitches, 3 outs.
Dodger pitching has been outstanding over the last couple of days. A lot of strikes, a lot of outs, a lot of quick innings. They're going to have to go down to the bullpen just to get that extra work. I wonder if Kelly did throw down there. He is down there looking. Is that somebody? No, that's not Joe. Somebody else warming up, but he probably thought about throwing a few more pitches in the pen to get some more work.
1-1 pitch to Santana. And he rolls one down to third. There's one at second. That's the short way, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. To the Rockies, half of the 8th we go. In Scottsdale, it's 3-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-0 Dodgers with the lead, out hitting the Rockies 7-1. And Yordy Cabrera comes on to pitch. Yordy Cabrera, an interesting story. And has been putting up numbers. What a strong right arm he has.
A hard thrower that is opening up a lot of eyes this spring.
He'll face Mark Reynolds. Reynolds is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th, and he swings and fouls it back off the mask of Keibert Ruiz. As is customary, the home plate umpire, in this case Brian Knight, he'll go clean home plate. He thought about it, didn't do it, but he delivered the ball back to Yordy Cabrera. And Cabrera had a pretty circuitous route to where he is right now. Former position player. He's swinging a foul back again. That one got Brian Knight. And an interesting story. Born in the Dominican Republic, was there with his mom for a while. His dad, of course, with the Tigers organization for a long time, still there. And then Yordy ultimately moved to Lakeland, Florida, where the Tigers spring training headquarters is and extended spring headquarters is, and they have their high A club in the Florida State League. It became a star at Lakeland High School. There's a swing and a drive down the left field line, and Reynolds has the Rockies on the board. A leadoff home run for Mark Reynolds. It's 3-1.
That ball got out of here in a hurry. Reynolds met it squarely. Round bat, hits a round ball squarely. It goes a long way, and this one did. First run the Dodgers have given up in a while.
This is a typical Mark Reynolds performance. Strikeout, home run. He got the better of that baseball, and now the 0 off the board as Cabrera deals a swinging strike to David Dahl, who's 0 for 2. Dahl hit into a double play in the 5th inning. But Cabrera started out as a third baseman. But the Dodgers, Orel, seem to be very encouraged by his high velocity fastball. As he delivers one there and gets another swinging strike. 96.
96 with good movement, low and away, precise location. Good response to go to an 0-2 count after giving up a home run. Not afraid to get back right in there.
Cabrera out of Lakeland, Florida. Really good baseball area right in the center of the state. A little chopper to the right side. Peter picks it up. Underhand toss to Cabrera, covering, and goes one man out.
Dodgers have yet to put Buehler or Kershaw into a spring training game, but if you look at the rotation over the last 3 days, they've been doing okay. Ryu went 3 innings, no runs. Maeda goes 3 innings, no runs. Urias today, 3 innings, no runs. Total 9 innings pitched from those starters, 1 walk and 9 Ks.
Well, first plate appearance for Peter Mooney. Ball 1. Well, you get to see these guys pitch their bullpens. You guys get to know the pitchers very well here in spring training as you're in uniform in the mornings. And when you see them out there, either the 10-pack they've got for the bullpens or the other bullpen closer to the clubhouse. What do you like other than the velocity when you look at a Cabrera?
When I watch these young guys or 28-year-old on the mound here trying to make an impact, I love the fact that when you see them in those side works and you're impressed with what they're doing, and then they can bring it into the game, that the game mentality, the pressure, the place where they are out there, that they can bring that to the game. And we see that a lot in the Dodger organization. They are so good on the minor league side and the development side of developing the mind of these guys as much as the body, the mechanics, and the arm.
Foul ball, first
We've
base
seen
side.
that throughout the organization. The minor league sides, they do an amazing job of developing these guys mentally and getting prepared for the big leagues. And I think it's a concerted effort by the whole organization that they transition to the big leagues and feel comfortable and can bring that competitive, well-balanced mindset into the game, and they come up and they are mature.
1 out, base is empty. The 1-2 pitch inside to Mooney. We just saw a shot of Mark Pryor sitting next to Dave Roberts, and Mark's had to take on extra duty at the beginning of spring training because Rick Honeycutt was not here, at least in uniform. He was here. He was in street clothes for a while. But Mark's done a good job as the assistant pitching coach. The chopper over the mound, and it's backhanded, throw to first, and safe at first. LaPut with a nice play for the Dodgers, trying to get it to Peter in time. Deacon LaPut just a hair late, and Peter Mooney beats it out. If he's a right-handed hitter, that's an out. But because Mooney came from the left side, he had that extra half step.
A little bit fooled on the pitch, so he actually had a little more of a head start because his balance was off and falling towards first base, which got him out of the box cleanly and quickly.
Brett Nicholas. Yeah, no replay, by the way, in spring training. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Keibert Ruiz. Although in spring training you do see a lot of plays at first that in the regular season would go to replay.
Exactly.
You see a lot of spring training outs. And what I mean by that is if it's close, you're out. More often than not. The 0-1 pitch. That's a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brett Nicholas facing Yordy Cabrera. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Mark Reynolds a leadoff home run, and it's a 3-1 game. Reynolds put one deep over the Dodger bullpen up on the grassy hill. Cut and a miss. 95. So
exceptional movement on that fastball. Diving low and away from the left-handed hitter.
1-2 pitch coming. Swinging a grounder foul. How much time did you put in? Do these guys put in sometimes just in bullpen sessions or even just fooling around with say a 4-seam fastball grip? How much adjusting can you make till you can find just a little bit of a change in that grip where you can get that extra either arm side or glove side run?
Well, it's no longer just the eye test or the catcher giving you feedback. You can get feedback from the measurements that are now made and the spin rate and how much the ball moves up and down, left and right. So they can experiment with their grips and get feedback right away from the Rapsodo machine or the TrackMan.
Ground ball to third, backhanded by Santana. Throws to second just in time to get the lead runner Mooney on the force out. So 5-4 out there. And Nicholas aboard on the fielder's choice. 2 men out for Colorado.
The feedback when the guys are working out and trying to develop more movement or less movement or something is going on as far as spin rate, it's more about the reps. You want to get the measurements from 4 or 5 pitches, 6 pitches, and then not just one pitch. So they're not turning around asking for that information every pitch, but they can throw 4 or 5, take a little rest, and then get up.
Saunders lifts this one in the air to left center field. It drops in for a base hit right in front of Ezekiel Carrera. So Saunders at first, moving over to second base is Nicholas. First and second, 2 men out. And Wes Rogers will come to the plate now for the Rockies.
Yordy Cabrera has had some very clean spring training outings, and here now with a little traffic is a good test for him. You want to see guys under pressure when they're not having the perfect inning. Do they melt down, or can they rise to the occasion and stay in the game mentally?
First pitch to the right-handed hitting Rogers, and that is low. They mentioned Rapsodo, and that's a name that you hear a lot. Last year, former Dodger hitting coach Tim Hires actually gave me a whole rundown on the Rapsodo unit and what it does. And now you have the Edgertronics machine. And you really can't go to a bullpen in spring training now without seeing some kind of technology, one or both. And the players just seem so hungry for this information.
No more guessing. No more experimenting as far as is it really happening. You get that feedback immediately if you want it.
Everybody gets the information, and it's so important the way it's broken down. Now, once it's broken down, I guess the translation, and Omar and I had this conversation last week, the translation and the implementation from where it gets broken down to the individual player, sometimes that becomes different. Some players want certain things, some players want more, some players want less. But they all want information, that's for sure.
Yep. They just process it differently and rank it differently sometimes.
2 ball, 1 strike pitch now to Rogers. And Cabrera deals, and it's a foul ball down the third base side. Evens the count 2-2. Yordy Cabrera, a name to keep in the back of your mind, Dodger fans. This is a guy that, who knows, at some point could be a contributor. It takes more than 25 guys. Stretch by Cabrera, now the 2-2 to Rogers. Fouled off to the right.
Well, we've seen it with Brandon Morrow. We've seen it with Dylan Flora. And I'll tell you what, all of a sudden you're going to see some names this year that pop up that you weren't expecting to contribute. This might be one of them.
A guy who can throw gas like this, and then, you know, another guy that the Dodgers signed, a former pitcher turned position player, now turned back to pitcher, Stetson Alley, who can regularly, you know, pump the gun at 100 miles an hour. You got Joe Kelly, who throws triple digits. There's a chopper hit towards short, and that is gloved by Ahmed. The throw to first just too late. Looked like Peter might have taken his foot off the bag, and now the Rockies have the bases loaded.
Elevated throw over there to first base. You try to keep your toe on the bag, but the chopper there, just a routine throw would have got him, but up and down and safe at first.
We'll charge an error to Mike Ahmed, who is the brother of Diamondbacks infielder Nick Ahmed. And Mark Pryor comes out to pay a visit to Yordy Cabrera, trying to settle him down. Or in spring training, can't these situations turn into a beneficial thing sometimes where, you know, during the season you're going to pitch in some high stress situations, and now you got one of the bases loaded. How can they help a pitcher like Cabrera here?
Well, he's getting to work from the stretch, which he will as a reliever. We saw some of our starters that were doing so well. They'd have to go to the stretch with nobody on to work on it. But you're right. It's just going to show some character to the coaching staff. Going to bring them comfort of maybe bringing them in to a jam with bases loaded, 2 out in the regular season, knowing that he can handle it and throw strikes in a situation like this. They saw it in spring.
Tyler Nevin is the batter now, facing Yordy Cabrera. And the pitch. Wave and a miss.
Good job getting back in the count after the 1-0 count. Throw that good low strike. Get another ground ball. Get the last out.
Pitch to Nevin, foul back. Tyler Nevin from Poway, California, just east of San Diego. Here's his dad, Phil, former Golden Spikes winner in college and now third base coach with the Yankees. Oh, when Nevin was with the Padres, that's where this Nevin grew up. Tony Gwynn's hometown, Poway. Bases full of Rockies, 2 outs. Cabrera's 1-2 to Nevin. Outside corner, got him, called strike 3. So Yordy Cabrera pitches out of the high stress situation. Mark Reynolds with the solo homer. That accounts for the only Rocky run. 3-1 as we go to the 9th. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors as we go to the top of the 9th inning with Oral Hershiser and Alana Rizzo. Tim Neverett with you at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale, Arizona. I think if you could have drawn up perfect weather day for baseball, this might be in your top 5. As Deacon LaPut takes the batter's box. I mean, look at this, just perfect today. And LaPut hits a ground ball to short. Mooney on to first. There's 1 out.
It's been a wet, chilly spring, but the last couple of days have been picture perfect, and the guys have really enjoyed it. You come into camp sometimes early in the morning for early hitting, and you run over to the cage because it's raining on your way over there, trying to stay wet, keep the equipment dry before you get there, and then hope it clears up by the time stretching around 10:30 or so starts. And we've had some days where they've had to adjust the schedule because of the weather.
Ezekiel Carrera takes a strike. Carrera's been around. He was with Toronto last year. He will take a pitch downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carrera played all 3 outfield spots last year for the Blue Jays. Howard's pitch. Swung on, hit well to left field, but playable. And right there to make the catch, Michael Saunders. 2 men out for the Dodgers in the 9th. Paulo Orlando. We've been rooting for Orlando to get a triple. I want to watch him run. Former member of the Brazilian national track and field team. Ran the short relays. Former Kansas City Royal, a swing and a miss.
Hit one in the gap, and there's no baton to hand it off to anybody, but it would be fun to watch him run.
With the 200-meter relay, you still had to take a turn.
Yep.
You had to turn left, just like you turn first to go to second. But that angle, of course, in baseball, a little sharper.
Depending on how well you cut the bags.
True, true. No balls and 2 strikes to Orlando. As Howard, the lefty, kicks and deals home. Swing and a miss. He made quick work of Orlando and quick work of the Dodgers in the top of the 9th. They go in order. Last wraps for the Rockies coming up as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Dodgers 3, Colorado 1. Last of the 9th inning. 3-1. Dodgers with a lead over the Rockies. As the Dodgers will head back up the road. Back to Camelback Ranch and getting an opportunity here to pitch in the bottom of the 9th inning. Lane Thompson, who went 1-0 in 11 appearances in Double-A last year, but the ERA good, 0.73, and he delivers a strike to Ryan Metzler. Thompson been working on the movement of his pitches with a cutter. Cutter and a curveball primarily.
He'll be in Double-A or Triple-A. It's an arm that the Dodgers are really looking after. Some high hopes for him. You know, the ride home could be a little longer if you take the same highway. They were resurfacing the road. I think the bus is going to go back a little different way.
You're going to have to take the 10.
It was backed up for about 1.5 miles on the opposite side when we were coming over here.
2-1 pitch. Now in there for a strike 2-2 to Metzler. Yeah, I saw the same thing on the way. We must have taken the same route. And I said, uh-oh, we're not going back that way. There's no chance.
And you were huffing and puffing trying to get here.
I thought I had I thought I had an hour fewer than I did. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Metzler down on strikes. So 1 down and 2 to get now for the Dodgers. And Lane Thompson out of South Dakota State. At the Yankton High School in South Dakota. You know what town South Dakota State is in?
I do not. I have a feeling you do.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're not alone. It's Brookings.
Okay.
Brookings, South Dakota. Sampson, a very, very good pitcher there. He's picked by the Reds in 2013. 22nd rounder. And gets a swing and a miss as Todd Sienge is at the plate for Colorado. 1 down, bottom of the 9th inning. Tom Murphy on deck. Thompson delivers, and there's a chopper to short. Ahmed backs up a step, and it's off of his glove. And the runner's going to be safe. Maybe the second error on Ahmed since he entered the game. The throwing error last inning, and now he charged here. It'll be a 3rd error for the Dodgers. Snyder has come in as a pinch runner for the Rockies. He's at first base, and the batter is Tom Murphy. 226 hitter, pair of home runs last year, 5 for 19 in the spring so far. And Lane Thompson out of the stretch delivers, and it's high for a ball.
The bus ride home might be a little bit longer, but if the Dodgers keep this score where it's at, it'll be a happy ride.
You like it when they're happy. 2-0. This one is hit high to left field. Ezekiel Carrera drifting back. He squares up, makes the catch. And the Rockies are now down to their final out this afternoon.
Dodger fans still here. That towering fly ball got a few moans of, oh no.
Well, the Dodgers are out away from going to 9-6-1 in Cactus League play. And the Rockies would drop to 6-9-2. And then, of course, depending on what happens in Monterrey today, because they've got another squad over there playing the Diamondbacks in Monterrey, Mexico. Lane Thompson, who did debut in 2016 with Cincinnati, had 2 appearances with the Reds, and trying to get back to the big leagues. Facing Marcelino, the right fielder. Ramon Marcelino fouls it off. 0-1. Left-handed batter wearing number 94.
It's been a lot of fun and very comfortable working with you. This is great. We're going to have some fun this year.
We got a couple of more of these before we head west.
Thanks for warning me.
You've been warned. 0-1 pitch is fouled off third base side now to play.
Just like the players, you know, we come to spring training, you have a new partner, you got to have the game kind of slow down, you got to get used to each other. What did it take, 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's good.
You better say yes.
You even bought me a hot beverage today, which I thought was very nice of you.
Really?
0-2 pitch. And there it is. Strike 3 call. Ball game over.
Good day for the Dodgers. Good day for Julio Urias, starting us off with 3 zeros, and it was nice to see him continue to progress. I know he's going to have an innings limit or a work limit this year, but boy, when he gets in the game, we are looking forward to great things.
So the final line score brought to you by Navien tankless water heaters. For the Dodgers, 3 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and they would leave 4. For the Rockies, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, and they would leave 5. Tomorrow, the Dodgers face the Giants, 1 o'clock on radio only. Join Rick Monday and yours truly for that one on AM 570. We'll be back with you on Sportsnet LA Wednesday when the Dodgers face the White Sox at 7 p.m. For Alana Rizzo and Oral Hershazer, I'm Tim Neverett. Stay tuned for Connected With coming up next.